Beth was really proud of the clever title that she had come up with her gardening book, except for one problem. This clever title was not being searched on and was giving her 0 sales. And that's the reason why in today's video, we're going to discuss how to use keywords on Amazon KDP. This is Chris Baird from self-publishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. So the thing was, it was about 6 months ago or so, and Beth, she's a gardening author. She's been somebody who's been doing gardening on the side for many, many years, in particular vertical gardening, which happens to also be really popular at the moment. And so she figured maybe this was her opportunity to finally use and turn her hobby into something even more. She wanted to get her gardening books out on the market and to start getting these books to sell. The problem is she just wasn't seeing any sales for her book coming through, which is a huge problem for her. She was really tired of her day job and she was looking to see if possibly she could do writing as a full-time thing. She had heard about other people who had gone about this exact route, starting with writing some books, maybe using some affiliate links, pulling in your hobbies, possibly selling courses on how to do gardening. There was a whole series of ways in which she could make money using the thing that she loved the most, which was gardening and the ability to get out of the cubicle where she was spending most of her time during the day. The problem was she wasn't sure if her books or people would even be interested in the books that she was writing. So she came up with the first idea, which was she had seen some fancy ads for some courses, and she had taken a particular course from one of the fake gurus. The problem was the course was just hitting her with all of these different tools at the same time. Too much information, overload. She felt quite burdened, and it actually slowed down her process. This publishing process was slowed down drastically as a result of one of the fake gurus telling her, you need to do these 50 things, and then you need to do these 30 things. You should be doing everything at the same time. It was very confusing, and as a result, she ended up not getting her book onto the market for a period of time. She then decided, okay, fine, what if I just break it down a little bit and try to at least start getting the title and the cover and these things in place? And that was when she came up with the idea, like so many authors, and you know who you are, came up with the idea of, what if I come up with a really clever title that people will, something about a green thumb and vertical, it didn't even use any of the keywords related to vertical gardening, but it was just like really clever, you see. Now nobody's searching on any of the terms here, so it wouldn't show up any search results, but once they found the book, then it would be really impressive. And she had her affiliate links in the book so that when people would see certain gardening products that she herself had used and found great, they would click on the link, go to Amazon, and she'd get paid 3 to 6% based upon the sales of those products that she would be pushing in her book. The only problem was nobody was clicking those links. Why not? Well, because nobody was buying the book. But why weren't they buying the book? Well, they were not finding the book because as we mentioned, she was using a title and subtitle that were clever, but nobody was searching for it. And so it's completely useless when it comes to trying to get her book to sell. Well, the thing was, she Googled this whole issue about keywords and trying to figure out how this works, and she came across one of my blogs on this exact subject. And that is where she discovered, in the blog, I was commenting on how keywords are the absolute most important thing. Now, the thing is that your cover is the number 2 thing. But without the keywords, nobody's even going to see the cover. You have to keep in mind, how is your audience going to find you in the first place? Now, if you have ads, then the cover is the most important because the cover's goal is to either get the person to click or to read your title, you see? And so there's a flow here. But if we're not running a lot of ads against our book, well, then we're completely dependent upon the second or third largest search engine in the world, which is Amazon. And when they type in certain things like vertical gardening, your clever titles are not going to show up. So we need to make sure that we're avoiding, like the plague, using clever titles, but thinking not in terms of what will be so clever, but rather what benefit will the person get. That's what our title is going to be about, and it's going to involve multiple keywords that are targeting exactly that. And that's one of the reasons as she was reading the blog, I was commenting on the tool that I personally use and I recommend to all of my clients, which is KDSpy. You can find my affiliate link below in the description. And this is the most powerful tool for helping us to figure out not just which keywords to use, but which keywords are going to be profitable for us in the long run. And so there's a balance here, because we're looking for specifically keywords for which there is low competition. That is, we can type that keyword into the search box in Amazon and it's not going to have that many results, maybe a couple hundred, no, under 1,000 results for this specific keyword that we're writing our book on. Then the second thing we're going to want to do is see how many books using KDSpy are ranking in the top basic sales rank, BSR, of 100,000. They're selling a copy a day. And then simply by taking those two, we're able to figure it out. We take the total number. So let's say if there was, I don't know what you'd say, let's say 10 books in the basic sales rank showing up in the top 20 results under 100,000, so there'd be 10 there, okay? And then you had 100 books total for that keyword. That would give us 10 divided by 100. You give us 10, right? 10%. Or 10 in this case. I would call it, the ratio is, you can actually go the opposite direction as well, which would be the total number of books divided by how many books are in that basic sales ranks. That's the way I normally do it, and that would give us a 10. And I personally, when dealing with nonfiction books, like to publish books that have a magic ratio of under 30. Okay, so that I know for a fact that these keywords are ones for which people are searching and buying books, but there just aren't that many books targeting it. So which means when they're in your title and subtitle, they're going to come up on this for page 1, page 2 search results on Amazon. And this is so important when it comes to your books. We want your books to show up there, then they see your cover, which is the second most important aspect of your book. At this point, they see the cover. If it pops off the page and it looks similar to the best sellers in your genre, they're going to go, this book is for me. So she could have chosen a really fancy book of, showing some forests or green plants, but no, we want the vertical gardening right on the cover, something that shows exactly what the benefit's going to be. Here's how you can do this vertical gardening for yourself. The title is going to involve the keyword at a minimum vertical gardening. If that is not profitable enough, then we go down a notch and say, I don't know, vertical gardening for tomatoes or green plants or something like that. And we use that as our keyword. And remember, when we talk about keywords, we're not talking about a word. It's a series of words that you start with a keyword or key phrase, as you might put it, okay? And that's one keyword. Then we have another one. And with Amazon, it allows you to choose 7 keywords that you can have associated with your book, and you're definitely going to want to use up all 7 keywords in there using KDSpy. And we're actually spying on our competition, because guess what? The people who happen to be selling the most books, unless they're famous authors, they're using these exact strategies. So they're telling you already which keywords they're using. So let's take a look. With KDSpy, you can do what's called a word cloud, where it pulls out all of the most used keywords in the top sellers and we'll put them up in a cloud. And then we can just pick from them as we're going through to figure out which keywords they have found, and they're telling us which keywords are the profitable ones. The problem so many authors have, just like what Beth was having, was that we just ignore this. We don't even know anything about keywords. We think that it's really not necessary, that we can do this keyword game without we don't even need keywords. Just a clever title, right? Wouldn't that be enough? And the answer is they're never going to find you as a new author when you're doing exactly that. But what did Beth do then? She went back and she started using KDSpy. She was going through these exact things and keeping in touch with me via email and volley. And by going through this, we were able to take a closer look at which keywords. She tried a few, and I pointed out, if you're using KDSpy correctly, we'd see that this one was unprofitable, but this is a profitable one. She changed the title of her book. On the ebook version, we've discussed this before, but you cannot change it on your paperback because there's an ISBN associated with it unless you want to do a brand new paperback. But at least on the ebook version, we were able to get it changed out. And what happened is she started to see it to work. She started to see this strategy working for her. The ebook started and the paperback, she started to see sales going up on these books that she had put onto Amazon KDP, which was fantastic because as the sales started to rise, she felt that motivation again, and she also noticed that people were clicking on the affiliate links that she had put inside of her book. And a lot of this really comes back to just knowing and keeping things easy, like we try to do here on this channel. And so one of the things is you're definitely going to want to check out KDSpy, my affiliate link located in the description. It's the tool that I use personally, and I recommend to all of my clients. Grab a copy of this incredibly inexpensive and powerful tool to get your books selling through keywords. Thanks.